EA Sports and the PGA Tour are proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From Memphis, Tennessee and TPC Southwind, it's the third round of the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Well, if yesterday was any indication, we should be in for a memorable weekend of golf here as we take in the leaderboard on this Saturday. Kevin Streelman is your leader. He currently sits at 12 under par. We'll get right out to the action here as we head to the tee at the par 4 first.
Rough off the tee, straight out of the gate. That's interesting. So much will depend on the lie.
So now from the rough, his second here at the opening hole.
That's a good shot, and more importantly too, a green in regulation, so birdie chance.
Not quite online, and that'll drift a couple feet by. Safely in. It's a par here at the first, and he'll remain at 6 under par. Interesting hole here, the second at TPC Southwind in Memphis. Just 401 yards, a par 4, dogleg to the right with those bunkers on the left. Now, if you're feeling good and you're driving it well, maybe you take that dogleg out of play and just cut the corner. Get after it. Oh, that was a beautiful golf swing right there. Everything working in harmony and a great result in the fairway. So not a whole lot left to go here as he'll set up his second with his par 4. This from about 10 feet. That's going to slide by to the left. Good work to get into that position, but couldn't finish it off. That finished off for a par here with the second, and he'll stay right where he is. There are only 2 par 5s here at TPC Southwind, and this 554-yard third is one of those. It's straight down the pike. There is a lake, though, in the middle of the fairway that will come into play on the second shot. Certainly you can get home in 2, but you can see there's water up around the green and the bunker's on the left. So if you're not careful, you can make a pretty big number here. I'll tell you what, that swing absolutely perfect and a good result as well. Now from a little less than 200 yards, this a second to the par 5.
The beauty of this par 5, so many different ways to play it. You'd be a little wayward, even with the tee shot or the second shot, but really, it's going to be about the third shot today. How close can you hit it?
4 feet, all that's left for birdie. Okay, nicely done. That's in for birdie here at 3. And that's going to get him to 1 under for the round and 7 under now for the tournament. Sometimes you just have to stop and admire the beauty of a hole before you even play it. And this is the case here at the 196-yard par 3 fourth. Just gorgeous. There's water short and left, and you hit it there. It's not a very pretty hole, is it? Up, that had hazard written on it all the way, and it is into the water left of this par 3 green. Okay, so now after the drop and the penalty stroke, this will become his 3rd shot now at the par 3. Well, obviously he can do better, and he's going to have to on this next putt if he wants to just get out of here with bogey, Frank.
And this one's certainly going to be, well, worth the price of admission.
Good stuff, though it is for a bogey 4. And he's going to drop back to -9. So for our featured golfer, some good playing and some favorable scoring conditions here on this Saturday. But they'll look up at that leaderboard and see they're still well back.
But I think the goal really is to try and shoot back-to-back great rounds, Rich. If anything better than that, maybe...
EA Sports and the PGA Tour so proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From TPC Southwind in Memphis, it's the final round of the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Well, we have already seen 3 scintillating, sometimes spectacular rounds of golf. By the time twilight comes calling later today, we will have a champion as we check the Sunday leaderboard. We've got a tie at the top at 13 under par. Meanwhile, our featured golfer right there with a shot to win it on this Sunday, just 2 shots off the lead. Let's get right into the action, starting with the par 3 14th. That's going to be on the putting surface, and a birdie looks straight ahead. Let's bring in Nota Begay III for a look at birdie.
Well, and he's had great conversion on putts like this. Even when he's not close to the hole, he's left himself with very makeable opportunities.
Nearly had it, just going to wander a foot or so by. No issues there. It is a par here at 14. And he'll stay a couple of shots off the lead. Arriving now at the tree-lined 15th, 395-yard par 4 dogleg to the left. Placement of the tee shot is crucial here with an approach shot over a creek to a well-bunkered green. Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
See what he can do with this one. His second at the 15th. Just want to avoid the flyer lie coming out of that rough. And that, not really the best of chips right there.
I was expecting something sort of tap-in range, but that is anything but.
Yeah, good putt. That's in for par here at 15. And he's going to stay 2 back. We begin our finishing stretch with the second and final par 5 at TPC Southwind, 530-yard, 16th hole. It is gettable in 2. Expect birdie here, and an eagle is definitely in the cards. Ooh, some big drives today. That might be the biggest of the bunch. From the fairway, we check in with Noda.
Big tee shot off the tee at 16. Now have to try and squeeze the ball into a very narrow section of the front part of this green to get an eagle putt.
Has to be thrilled with that second shot here to the par 5. Frank got everything out of that.
Yeah, did well just to advance the ball so far down the fairway. And now a fairly straightforward third shot.
A birdie putt now at 16.
Slightly downhill, so the ball will carry to the hole and just a little right to left.
The pace, absolutely perfect there. Down the slope, it's in for a birdie. And things are getting bunched at the top. He pulls to within one with 2 holes to go. The 17th is a beast at a full 505 yards. Just about everyone will wind up short of the creek with their drives, but there is water there to keep you honest. Then what's required is a long, accurate approach into this green that's surrounded by a total of 5 bunkers left and right. That's a good drive right there at 17, and that'll leave him with a chance to get something close and maybe grab a share of the lead. From the fairway, let's go to Noda.
Tough proposition with the second at the 17th, hitting off a slight downhill lie to an uphill green. Got to get elevation, but you got to keep it on line.
Well, those are the shots that turn what you'd like to be a leisurely stroll out on the golf course into a day of hard work.
Yeah, what could have been a tap-in is now going to be a grind.
Yeah, that's a good putt. It is in for par here at 17, and he'll remain at -12. Well, we've seen through the years with tournaments here at TPC Southwind that a lot can happen here at this par 4 18th. It's pretty to look at, it's harder to play, and you can make a mess if you're not careful and walk away really disappointed because of all that water that comes into play on not only the drive, but on the second shot. That is poetry in motion right there. What a golf swing and a big drive as well. From the fairway, we check in with Noda.
Ball in the fairway on the finishing hole is a great first step, but still got to take on the water and control your distance to take advantage of that tee shot.
This might be close. That ball not wanting to cooperate, and it is into the hazard. So with a shake of the head, he'll take his drop, and now with a stroke added for the penalty, this becomes his fourth to the par 4. I don't think he's going to fall in love with that one, Frank, but it won't hurt him.
No, but you'd expect from there to sort of get it within kicking distance. Now you got to work.
Okay, a shake of the head as that one is finished off. And now he's going to fall a couple of shots off the pace. All right, Frank, for our featured golfer, it will not be a trip to the winner's circle here in Memphis, but they will get a visit to Delaware as they've qualified for round 2 of the playoffs.
Exactly right. They were walking in Memphis, Rich, but they'll be running to the BMW.
So that's a wrap for all of us at EA Sports PGA Tour. Thanks for coming along. We'll see you next time on the road to the Masters. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From Wilmington Country Club in Delaware, it's the opening round of the BMW Championship. What might we have in store for us over the course of these next 4 days? We've got big names, we've got dark horses, we've got it all as we look at the leaderboard on this Thursday. Denny McCarthy is the leader. He's off to a 4-under start. Meanwhile, our featured golfer looking to push through and fight on for the title next week. So let's get out to the action as we pick things up on the tee at the par 4 fifth. Round one here in the second leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Everyone trying to jockey for position and be one of the 30 to make it to East Lake for the Tour Championship next week in Atlanta. And our featured golfer feeling pretty good, comfortably inside that group to begin play.
Yeah, at the halfway point nearly, so just see more of the golf we've seen during the course of the season.
This one starting up that left side. That's right in the pocket. Now, watch this gravity take over here. That's going to come on down the slope. Wow, really well done. Second shot coming up, and we say hello to Iona Stephen.
130 is the number left to the flag today, and the pin on the left portion of the green.
And that ball looked very good in the air. Just doesn't quite finish up that near to the flag, but still on the green.
That's going to leave about 3 feet.
Yeah, that was maybe a little overcautious. I bet he'd like that one again.
That one finished off. It is a par here at 5, and he'll stay at 1 over. The 6th hole now, a par 4 at 391 yards. Another hole with an uphill element to it. A fairly narrow landing spot leads to a green with bunkers left and right, and that short left bunker is a deep one that'll likely leave you with no direct view of the flag.
Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
Ball sitting okay here for his second here at the 6th.
And that ball looked good in the air. You'd like it to be a little closer, but still inside 40 feet. Just going to have to be careful with the lag putting.
A birdie putt down to Iona.
Yeah, this is a sweeping putt from left to right. It's going to do that pretty much the entire way as it trundles to the hole.
Sensational. What a putt there from a long way out. That somehow goes down for a birdie. On to the 7th, a downhill par 3 at 205 yards. The dangers short are self-evident with those 3 bunkers guarding the front, but going long is no bargain either, as it'll leave you with a pitch onto a green that slopes back to front. That was obviously well struck, but it came in a little too hot, and that one's going to run out and leave him a much longer birdie putt than he would have hoped for. 3 putts, a definite possibility here. This is a long look for birdie. Some kind of putt. Perfect speed, perfect line. It's in for a birdie. We come now to the 8th hole, a par 4 at 490 yards. This hole bends slightly left to right with 4 bunkers in play off the tee, 2 on each side. But a drive in the fairway will leave you an approach to another giant green with 3 newly renovated bunkers surrounding it. Well, you can't walk out and drop it any better than that. That is a fine tee shot right there. Well, had a good look at the green, but couldn't cash it in. In the rough now, wondering what might have been. Frankie's not going to make the highlight shows tonight, but he might still make par, which isn't all bad.
Hey, let's face it, that is very forgettable.
Okay, that in for par here at the 8th, and he'll remain in red figures at 1 under. Precision is the key here at the 9th, a par 4 at 496 yards. You'll encounter a narrow fairway in the landing area with 1 bunker left and 3 more to the right. The water right shouldn't be in play for most on the approach, but this is a tough green to handle as it slopes pretty sharply from left to right. That's the kind of swing you want to break down and study. Perfect tempo on the backswing, club head pointing to the target, and then just an explosion through impact. Very well done. look here at birdie.
Yeah, and there's two things to think about with this putt, that right to left break and also the slope. It is quite quick and will demand a soft touch.
Oh, yes, very impressive right down. That goes down for a birdie. One last look at the leaderboard, Frank. Our featured golfer down, but not out after day one.
Yeah, they might have to take the standing 8, though, or hit the reset button. This can easily go the wrong way very quickly. Tomorrow, important round.
So that's it for us. For Frank, Noda, Iona, and our entire crew, Rich Lerner saying, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on EA Sports PGA Tour. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From the northern tip of Delaware and Wilmington Country Club, live second-round coverage of the BMW Championship. Things starting to slowly take shape here on this Friday. For some, it is a race for the top prize. For others, it's a fight to stick around for the weekend as we show you the leaderboard. Your leader is Wake Forest's Will Zalatoris. He's at 6 under par. Let's head out to the course and pick things up at the par 3 15. Yeah, well done. That's in for par. And he'll remain at 1 under par. The 16th hole here at Wilmington really shows off some of the beautiful trees on this Audubon certified course. They line both sides of this 393-yard par 4. The two-tiered green gives you something to think about on your approach because a miss there can leave you with a very unwieldy putt. And that ball absolutely walloped. That is a big drive there.
Well, that's just a perfect tee shot, really. Exactly 90 yards left for the second. You couldn't draw this up any better.
Third shot coming up now from the bunker. Okay, pretty big swing necessary there, and that's not all that bad from that far away. This is a 9-footer. Okay, didn't want to let that one get away. It is a par here at 16, and he'll remain right where he is. The 17th hole is another ball striker's test. This a par 4 at 419 yards. It's gently sloping downhill all the way, though. Be careful with your tee shot because it could run out into one of those 3 bunkers to the right. That is so well done. Just generating so much torque through the swing. High launch angle. That was just about perfect. So the great tee shot left him here. Now his second from relatively close range. Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Okay, that's good putt. It is in to save par. And he'll stay right where he is. On to the 18th hole now. A tough hole to finish on. Par 4 at 446 yards. All the things you've come to expect from a hole at Wilmington are here. A dogleg, bunkers in the landing area, trees, a large sloped green. All in all, a good way to encapsulate this round. Oh, that is squeezing every inch of distance out of the golf swing. That was as powerful as you're going to see. Second shot straight ahead, and we go to Iona Stephen.
Yeah, we're looking at 132 yards to the flagstick. Pin back right so he can take an aggressive line.
That's got to be disappointing. Good lie on the fairway, and the approach winds up in the bunker. Digs into the bunker, getting set to play the third shot. Okay, safely on the putting surface out of the sand. Would have maybe liked to run that up a little further, but that's not the worst shot in the world. Right about 9 feet here to the hole. Yeah, that's a good putt. It is in for his par here at 18. And that will be a touch worse than round 1. It is a second round, 71. Well, that about wraps it up for us here today. I'd like to thank my partner, Frank Nobilo. Really enjoyed it, Frank.
Yeah, it's been a good day out here. Once again, we've seen the
EA Sports and the PGA Tour are proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. From Wilmington, Delaware and Wilmington Country Club, live third-round coverage of the BMW Championship. Rich Lerner here in our tower overlooking the 18th green. Frank Nobilo is by my side. Out on the course, we've got Nota Begay III and Iona Stephen as we check the Saturday leaderboard. Denny McCarthy is the leader. He's currently at 8 under. We head out to the course as we pick up the action on the tee at the par 4 fourth.
Well, that one's finished in the first cut. It's going to be a little bit harder to spin it from there with a little bit of grass around the ball, but still not too bad. Rich, is that 8 or 9 feet? I don't know about that, but it is a great approach shot.
No gimme here. Tricky one for birdie. Nah, missed it left. That's a letdown. Okay, that one finished off. It's a par here at 4, and he'll stay at 2 under. Now to the 5th at 495 yards, a visually intimidating hole. You'll want to play right of the bunkers on the downhill tee shot, and from there a tough angle awaits over a cascading pond to a green, which leaves little room for error. That is poetry in motion right there. What a golf swing, and a big drive as well.
Got to be careful here. Downhill, he's got to time it good because your weight's a little bit more on your front foot.
This one's looking good.
I always knew that was going to be a good shot when it left the club face. What's that, 8 or 9 feet? Excellent shot.
Not a long putt, but a side hiller for birdie. Oh, right by the hole. The longer putts, you don't mind as much. The short ones, they tend to sting. That one finished off. It's in for par. And he'll remain right where he is. The sixth hole now, a par 4 at 391 yards. Another hole with an uphill element to it. A fairly narrow landing spot leads to a green with bunkers left and right. And that short left bunker is a deep one that'll likely leave you with no direct view of the flag. That's the kind of swing you want to break down and study. Perfect tempo on the backswing, club head pointing to the target, and then just an explosion through impact. Very well done. Call it 74 yards here as he's set for his second. And that's going to leave some work, but it'll end up okay. This one measures out to 15 feet. Nope. Safely in for par here at the 6th. And he'll stay right where he is. On now to the par 3 7th, 205 yards long. 3 deep bunkers protecting the front of this green, which is in fact the largest on the course. In fact, it's so big that Arnold Palmer once said he could land his plane on it. A little too much spice on that one. That flies the green, and he'll be chipping out of the rough. I think he'll be fairly pleased with that, Frank. What do you think?
I certainly do. It was so good.
That one finished off. It'll be a par here at 7. And he'll remain right where he is. So, Frank, 3 rounds have come and gone. What do you expect to see tomorrow?
Well, Rich, the first thing I'm going to look at is that pin sheet tomorrow and see how tucked they are to the edges of the greens, because that's going to determine how aggressive you can be with those approach shots. And then after that, as always, look at the weather. Put those two together, then you can formalize a really good game plan.
So that should just about do it. For all of us at EA Sports, thanks for spending some time with us on the road to the Masters. EA Sports and the PGA Tour so proud to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today from Wilmington Country Club, it's live final round coverage of the BMW Championship. It is the great challenge that all these golfers face, trying to string 4 solid rounds together, trying to best Mother Nature and this course, and trying to beat the entire field as we check the leaderboard. We've got a tie at the very top at 9 under par. We'll head out to the action at the par 3 13th. So Frank, the final round of the BMW Championship, our featured golfer looking for the strong finish here, but it is a near certainty that they're going to get on a plane later for Atlanta and the Tour Championship next week.
I like the first part of what you were saying, Rich. A chance really to shoot a really good score today and sort of make next week that much easier. Normally we just close off at the end of a 72-hole tournament, but this leads into next week. You can make next week's job a lot easier or a lot harder, just purely by a good round today.
This could be a good one. Solid shot, and sometimes solid throughout the round will win the day. After a brilliant tee shot, this for birdie. Confidently done there. That's in for birdie here at 13. And that'll help, but he'll still be 5 shots off the pace with only 5 holes left to play. Well, if you thought the 12th at 634 yards was long, wait till you check out the 14th. It's another par 5, though this one is in fact 15 yards longer at 649. Fortunately, there's no water on this hole, but what it lacks in hazards, it makes up for in bunkers, as you'll find a cluster of them near the landing zone and another group up near the green. Oh, that was a beautiful golf swing right there. Everything working in harmony and a great result in the fairway.
Normally they stick a tee in one end and a flag in the other. You're advanced the way. But that second shot on this par 5, that completely took the green out of play. Airmailed. That is a big mistake.
Distance control a factor there. That is out of the sand, but right into the rough. Just 5 feet left. Okay, good putt. And a par here at 14. And he'll remain at 4 under. We alternate par 5s and par 3s on the backside here, as that brings us to the long par 3 15th at 234 yards. Getting the ball over the pond, front and left of this green, is obviously job one. But getting the ball to stop from that far back can often be another matter. That's the danger of this back hole location. If you're not precise with your distance, you can run out of green in a hurry. And that's not exactly ideal. Far from a tap-in for his par.
You're being too kind. That's not at all ideal.
Yeah, that's well done. He's able to save his par. And he'll stay right where he is. The 16th hole here at Wilmington really shows off some of the beautiful trees on this Audubon certified course. They line both sides of this 393-yard par 4. The two-tiered green gives you something to think about on your approach because a miss there can leave you with a very unwieldy putt. And that ball going to land in the bunker, but fortunately it doesn't appear to have plugged. So this is second now, trying to get this out cleanly.
Now that's actually a pretty good shot, really. I know that's not exactly close to the hole, but out of the fairway bunker, safely on deck.
This one's going to need to carry some pace with it. A long one for birdie. Back up the slope. This is a 16-footer. Oh, right on line all the way. It is a par here at 16. And he'll remain right where he is. The 17th hole is another ball striker's test. This a par 4 at 419 yards. It's gently sloping downhill all the way, though. Be careful with your tee shot because it could run out into one of those 3 bunkers to the right. Ooh, some big drives tonight. That might be the biggest of the bunch. So now from just 76 yards away, here's his second. That's where the club twirled there. Beautifully judged. A dead-on look here for birdie. Nicely done. Birdie finished off here at 17. And he'll move now to 5 under par. On to the 18th hole now, a tough hole to finish on, par 4 at 446 yards. All the things you've come to expect from a hole at Wilmington are here. A dogleg, bunkers in the landing area, trees, a large sloped green. All in all, a good way to encapsulate this round. Inside. No fairway here, this one in that rough. Second shot coming up. Let's bring in Iona Stephen.
139 left to the flag. Pin on the right-hand side, so plenty of room to the left of it.
From the rough into the bunker, or the frying pan into the fire. Sometimes mistakes, they just have a way of compounding themselves. Okay, pretty big swing necessary there, and that's not all that bad from that far away. Okay, a good putt for his par here at the 18th green, and that will be a great final round score of 68. So, Frank, this is one of those rare weeks where you could feel really good even when you haven't won the tournament. That's because our featured golfer has done enough here in Delaware to make it inside the top 30, head to East Lake in Atlanta for the Tour Championship next week.
They can certainly give themselves a pat in the back, that's for sure. Their standard of play has been great. The goal of the playoffs is to weed them out. They've done it exactly that. Now we have 30 of the best. It's game on.
So that'll do it for my partner here in the tower, Frank Nobilo. For Nota Begay, Iona Stephen, and all our crew, Rich Lerner saying, we'll see you next time on EA Sports PGA Tour.